Well, hello there. What did I miss? Oh, sorry. Turn on my game. Welcome back, everyone. It's been a few months, but we're back again, at least for today. Because I just felt like it. Why not? How's everyone doing? Welcome back, everyone. We got a few people in here. I saw Andy stop by earlier, so hopefully you catch the replay later on. I know the time difference is a big problem there, so... Bruce, Johnny, and Sukra, and who else we got in here? Bluebeard is here as well. Welcome, everyone. Yeah, we'll go through quick here about what Boltgun actually is, and depending on where you grew up in the world, you may have different opinions or different like exposure to the Warhammer 40k universe. I know that was some people just absolutely love it, so yeah, I can't say for sure that I'm back on the schedule or anything, but I figured like why not stream tonight? I saw this game come out on Game Pass, and that's where I actually am playing it right now. It's on PC Game Pass. So, meeting Bruce, welcome. Yeah, it's on Game Pass. I figured, why not? I've been wanting to check it out, and it's one of those, like, I was going to buy it, but it was cheap enough. Not that it's not worth full price, but Game Pass sweetens the deal, because we already have it. So if you have Game Pass, PC, or even regular Game Pass on Xbox, right now, you can play this game now. So, but yeah, for those that are wondering, I just took a bit of a break from content creation, like many of us that do this for a hobby. It's easy to get burned out sometimes, so just took a bit of a pause, not stopping it altogether. You saw me active on Discord and social media a little bit here and there, but I am working on a video kind of at my own pace for the next step return. I'm not sure I'm going to return to a full live stream schedule like I did before, but they may pop up like this, and I wanted to just stream. It felt like it's been a while, like almost 3 months, I think. So, well, everyone's doing all right tonight. We're going to play some Boltgun, which is, yes, it's an FPS, like Sukra pointed out, kind of the boomer shooter thing. One, I realized what boomer actually stood for here, because for me it was boomer, like explosions, like, you know, bombastic fighting and stuff like that. But it's more about the, okay, boomer. I believe that's where it comes from. So that's the name they've gotten. Anything that's a retro throwback. Or we played these before, like Proteus, and forget the other ones now, of course, but I do this once in a while. I enjoy playing it, and I don't have the action cam now, but I am playing this on a CRT, of course. A lot of these boomer shooters work very well on a CRT. And the machine we're working on is a little different, too. It's actually a half-built machine that was intended for the cheap CPU, or a cheap PC challenge that I never got, well, I never got it done, so... But it features a Radeon R9 280, which is one of the last video cards that had a native VGA out, which makes it a lot easier to... you can do dongles too, like VGA dongles work fine, but this is native out actually. So you have a native, although this is a DVI2 VGA, but it has actual full pen out for VGA on it, it's a great way to hook it up to a CRT. That was my plan all along. So the adapters work fine, but here you can just mess around with it this way. So we're actually capturing this. You see up here now. Let's see, where are we? There. We're capturing this over VGA because why not? It makes it more authentic, right? You could capture this or play it on your actual modern machine, right? And this is the modern machine. So thanks, David. It's been a while, and I kind of did miss it a little bit, so it was nice to play a little bit. So. I have not played the remaster yet of Dark Forces. I will have to check it out at some point. Night Dive Studios, of course, they are masters of doing remasters, so I'm sure... master remasters. I'm sure the game is fantastic, so I'll have to check it out at some point. I do enjoy the original a lot, obviously. As far as Boltgun goes, most are probably familiar with the Warhammer 40k universe that has been around for so long now, with probably the late 70s, early 80s, or was it later? Put it this way, I'm not a Warhammer 40k, like, you know, deep in the lore and all the stuff. I played quite a few games of the Warhammer 40k environment. You know, I played some similar tabletop for a little bit, but not the Warhammer 40k. It's the whole thing that it's, you know, kids don't have money to do drugs if they're doing Warhammer because it's so expensive. It's the whole thing, right? With the Warhammer 40k, I think the first game I played was probably Space Marine on Amiga. I had my neighbor across the street that had an Amiga 500. I mentioned that in the past. He was a big Warhammer 40k. He loved the catalogs, and we looked through it, and he would buy figurines and paint them and all that stuff. I'm not sure if he ever played with them or anything, but he would at least, you know, collect them. Probably half the fun. But he introduced me a lot to that. He had a lot of the magazines and the comic books from that universe. And the Warhammer universe, the 40k one, is so brutal and horrible, but it's very, to me, the European, kind of the Judge Dredd style, just over the top, like gore and visceral stuff, and that's what Boltgun leans into a lot, as we'll see. I haven't played very far. I just did a test, and it plays fantastic. So, I didn't realize it was canon. Yeah, I guess it is, because I haven't played I actually have a physical copy of the Space Marine game that came out in 2013. I never played it. I know people rave about that one too. Other ones I played is I think it was Blood Hulk, one called Space Hulk. There's that one, the original one, and there was a newer one in '95 that I played on my Pentium 166. So, wow, thanks so much, David. I really appreciate it. It's very generous of you. Yeah, I came back and I'm showering already, showering me with money and stuff, but no, very generous and very much appreciated, David. Thank you so much. But yeah, I was gonna say, if anyone wants to donate actual 40k, then we're set now. But let's get the show on the road. We're gonna play some Warhammer 40k Boltgun. Like anytime you have a thing like that where it has a long name and an addition to it or whatever, you kind of get that, like, it's difficult to say, but I think generally this is called Boltgun, I think is how it's referred to. Boltgun referring to the actual gun that you're using as your primary weapon here. But sort of think anything else to say about this game. If you haven't watched the videos of like Civ11 does great coverage of FPS games. Also, G-Man Lives does great coverage of FPS, especially retro shooters and stuff like that. And Civ11 did a great coverage of this game in general, and it's just fun to watch. But it goes through a lot of what the game is and what it does and everything. But just imagine a 90s action shooter just ripped out of the 90s and dropped now with some modern sensibilities. I know they use modern AI, things like that. We're going to start a new game here, yeah. Yeah, it is actually. So we'll see. It's chunky pixels, because you actually have a setting for that in the options menu. You're running at 1280 by 1024, which runs pretty well. We will notice sometimes there is some, maybe, I don't know, but the Amiga is covered? No. Oh, this is not an Amiga over here, that's what you're wondering. Unless I misunderstood you. But this is actually a Power Macintosh sitting over here right now. So this is just an Apple keyboard. But in this case here, give me Brett, welcome back. In this case here, it uses chunky, you can actually set the retro style if you want bloom or the retro palette and pixelation. It actually has really chunky pixels. You can kind of see here how you have some pretty severe, like it's pixelated by design, and that makes it really cool. It makes it fun as we're playing it. Otherwise, there isn't a lot you can customize in the settings, but we'll start over from the beginning. Just a way to start a new... Hey, look, I'm live. Fine, we'll start over here. Confirm. We'll play a medium. You have different difficulty or whatever, but we're going to do a medium. The cool thing with the Warhammer universe is that it's so over the top. There's a taunt button you can use all the time. It does nothing except taunt your enemies. Like, it's just funny and cool, so... so yeah, you're deployed to this planet, and unfortunately you were off target, and you didn't land where you're supposed to be, and... I mean, I figured most people are aware of the Warhammer kind of thing, that they're just... That's where the whole Space Marine with the huge hulking suit comes from, right? And a story here, but mostly we're just here to shoot things. Boomer shooter. But I love that they went for this pixel art style, because it feels like, you know, the cutscenes from TIE Fighter or X-Wing, except, like, even awesomer. And, you know, it's a brutal world to live in. Just war and strife everywhere, and things get blown up ridiculously. It's the kind of thing. When they lean into that ridiculousness, I think it's all the better for it. I know recently there's like a tactics game here. We have had kind of like not survival horror games, but been action. I mean, the Warhammer set of games, especially the 40k games, I don't think we've never had like as many now, and I have played only a fraction of them. I feel like I should check out a lot more of them, but it's a universe ripe for use in games. So Not all of them good, I'm sure. But I think that from what I've read in reviews, we are getting more good than bad Warhammer games at this point, so... This is whole, you know, there's an emperor that's just absolute, and everyone just follows exactly what the emperor says. I think the story, if you dig into it, with the Warhammer 40k, there's so much lore and so much established stuff. And I'm excited to see, as someone who is just tangentially aware of it, in the sense I'm not super deep into it, I know Henry Cavill, one of the things that he got picked up for now is to lead kind of like a movie slash show slash like media restart of the Warhammer 40k universe, or like bringing that to, or maybe it's Warhammer, I guess, but just Warhammer in general as media to be at the forefront, because he's a huge Warhammer nerd, I think, from what I've read, King of the Nerds. And for him to like kind of spearhead a new generation of like shows and maybe movies and stuff like that, and I'm sure, you know, featuring himself, and he can probably do a very worthy Space Marine, so... Because you have the, what is it, Blood Marines, there's Ultramarines, there's the Chaos Marines, there's... The lore on this universe has expanded so much. You know, that's a good point. I would like to try it on Steam Deck. I think it probably runs quite well, because the cool thing with the Steam Deck, right, it's easy to forget, is that the resolution is so much lower, at 1280 by 800, I think. It doesn't need as much horsepower to run it, and games seem to run very well on it in general. Games that you don't think would run as well, like, yeah, some AAA titles aren't going to be 60 FPS in full settings. I mean, it's realistic. It's a mobile chipset, right? Or not mobile, but a portable slash laptop era-esque chipset. But, yep, here we are, and we can look here how chunky the pixels are. Because look here, look at this glorious pixelated textures here. It's amazing. And you can even hear him walking. It's like thuds. When he lands, you get the feeling of just this massive power suit, right? Look at that. We have like the rotating bitmap. And this is where I love playing these kind of games in 4x3 or on a CRT, because it just works so well. Like the Produce, we did that too. A Medieval. That one is a little more visually or I didn't say advanced, but they go a little further on the visuals, how the visuals are. But this looks fantastic. Looks great on a CRT. If you have a chance to do that, it is a well worth endeavor to try that. And those, sorry I missed up there, Bruce, but those Dell LCDs are actually really nice. I have a few of those I use for different variety of reasons, and they can be really good. So in the beginning here, we don't have much weapons, but we have a chainsaw. We can just, oh yeah, if you have a sensitive stomach and do not like pixelated gore, this may be not the game for you. But he's running, you hear the impact. It's got that thing that Doom 2016, and I haven't played Eternal yet, but with like that feeling of like impact. Like there's some there's weight to your character, and you feel like you're interacting with the world, and it feels just visceral. It's probably, again, the visceral is probably the best way to describe it, but jump up. You jump much more than you'd think a character of this size would do, but yeah, chainsaw everything. We will get a gun here soon, I promise. I did play a little bit just to test it. I didn't get that far, maybe like 10 minutes in. Just to make sure it runs okay. Gutting everyone. Picked up a key. There are key cards. Hey, Doppler, thanks. There are key cards, of course, because it is channeling the full retro boomer shooter style, so we gotta have key cards. I like the fact that there's a little symbol for a key, too. Holy elevators. It's pretty epic. Holy relic bolter. The Emperor provides. Oh yeah, we got our Boltgun now. So, the Boltgun is a rocket-propelled, like, grenades, basically. And it's got just a fantastic impact. Low, chunky, meaty. Yeah, it's fantastic. I do just love when they go this kind of art style, because it is, you know, it's channeling the 90s kind of thing, but with modern options, sensibilities. We're gonna land that guy. Slap. Got a bolt gun now. Bolt everything. Very nice. Yeah, that's the thing with the Steam Deck. It's just, it can do a lot of those things, and it's a perfect fit for the games that you may not expect. And it's a great way to experience a back catalog, especially, too. You're playing older games, or, like, you know, your 360 kind of era games. They run great on there. Some of the Batman, Arkham games, some of the Yakuza games, stuff like that runs just fantastic. Sorry, we were trying to disrespect the Emperor. I think it's like a requirement now that you have like ridiculous gore in these shooters. That you gotta have it. You know, the game audio is too loud. I want to hear the chunkiness of the combat, so. Yeah, I think they've said like it's cathedrals in space, right? It's like the starships they use. Everything has a gothic cathedral feel to it, except in space. Which makes it cooler. Your armor is contempt, because he's so angry in contempt that he's staying alive longer. Yeah, there's a lot of lore. I'm not going to try and explain all of it because I don't know half of it, so, or 99% of it. Yeah, I would. That was my plan. So we're gonna pick up Boltgun when it eventually went on sale. Not again because of, you know, it's not worth it. It's just I have a lot of games to play already, so missed the one secret. Great soundtrack too. Everything feels like they lean into like the ridiculousness, the heaviness, the grotesque or whatever. Not in horror sense, but just like it's just so ridiculous. And you need a power fantasy. When you're running around in this kind of armor, it has to be a power fantasy. Otherwise, it would wreck the whole experience if you were weak and had behind cover. I think in the promotional information or the promotional stuff for 2013 Space Marine, they showed how the guy was basically walking through cover, like half-eyed cover that was so popular after the Gears of War kind of era of games, where they were, you know, you had to hide behind knee-high cover all the time. But Space Marine and the whole Warhammer 40k is, you know, that's not the style. You need to run headfirst into combat. These Space Marines are just like juggernauts, and they're bred for war, like enhanced, all that stuff, right? I'm really enjoying my Steam Deck. I did upgrade to the OLED one, and I've had a lot of fun with that. It's a great way to explore older games. Also, I love it for just general indie platformers, that kind of stuff. The OLED does a really good job with the battery life, and you gotta really lock it down so it doesn't go too much on performance. That's the thing. It's finding the balance between performance, but no, I will say it's not a AAA machine by far. But the OLED does a lot for battery life, like surprisingly so. But to be fair, honestly, I mostly use it at home. Like I sit on the couch or play somewhere else in the house. I even stream PS5 or Xbox to it as well. So it's a very multifaceted device that can be done. You can use a lot of things on it, including then emulation and stuff. But as a pure, like, raw, powerful... Here, have a grenade. It does have some shortcomings, but I think that considering the power budgets that they have on it, that's the biggest thing, is to have a power budget. They did a really good job optimizing it for what it is, but I noticed a distinct improvement in battery life on the OLED. Between... Verifying up there. Between the less power draw on the screen and the bigger battery, that did make a noticeable difference. So... yeah, and that's the thing. Those, like, 360 era games, or the Unreal 3, right, type of games, are perfect for it. Yeah. It might. I think the biggest thing is just with this, they run for that, like, you know, retro chonky ridiculousness. They're not even trying to pretend that it's, you know, quote-unquote realistic looking. You need a steady, chonky impact. But the ones that I really enjoy is just, you know, going for the games that do really well on it, which would be, again, a little bit of older games. If you go a generation or two back, you can play a fantastic amount of games really well. Considering that, you know, I use it a lot the same way that my wife ends up using the Switch. For, like, playing, like, some of those, like, indie platformers is what I do a lot. Or, like, the older 3D games, and I liked a little bit of everything. Heck, I was playing Pillars of Eternity on it, like a top-down CRPG, and that works great, too, with those touchpads, so... It can do so many things is the thing that I think is so crazy since it's open. That's, I think, the biggest thing that Valve did well, was to keep it open and let you mess with it. Chaos Space Marine. We don't like that at all. Don't chainsaw him, I missed it. New enemies. They're just a really good machine, too, and the benefit of it running Windows, right? Helps a lot with things like Game Pass, right? So that has a benefit there. But I will say the biggest thing for me is honestly the sleep resume functions have been just a fantastic benefit, and just how Valve developed the SteamOS. I think SteamOS is the killer part of it. I use the sleep function so much, being able to pick up the deck, play for 10 minutes, and put it down anytime I want. That's been an amazing part of it. It works like a console, and I think that's something that gets glossed over a little bit. Anyway, how about that bolt gun, right? Am I right? Very bolty. Gotta have the vaulting mechanics. That's a requirement now in FPS games. That makes it so, like... I hate to use the word visceral over and over, but it just makes it so chunky, right? Feels impactful when you're hitting stuff. Having a connect between your action and how the game world reacts, I think, is super important. That's why, for me, Half-Life 2, for example, was super satisfying, right? Because you have physics came into play, and all of a sudden you have interaction with the world, and that was new at the time. So feeling your action in the world have an impact is huge. Pretty sure, Suka, yeah. I just haven't had a chance to... Whoops, that fell to my death. Alright, good news. We're back. That was my very boneheaded over movement here. Fortunately, it brings you back quickly into the game when you fall off, something like that. And that's a... How quick are you back any action, right? You should be punished, but how much? As it turns out, not much at all. And I'm okay with that. Yeah, there's a barrel that exploded. A barrel of fun, as it were. It's so gratifying, the impact. Thud, 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 boom! Mega damage. Not quad damage, mega damage. It's muffled because we're just wrecking stuff now. Oh, yeah. Oh, give me something more to kill. It's something to kill. And we're finding lots of secrets here now. Ian Jonathan? Yeah, I should play that too. There's a lot of really cool, like, you know, again, I know if anyone has a better name, but I think that Boomer Shooter has become the de facto, like, what we call these games now, right? This is what they're called. So we'll call them that. But there's been a lot of cool ones like that. And a lot of ones that are... What's the game Warlock that came out too? I think I messed with that a little bit playing that. That one I have on Steam. And just, there's so many of them. And I know that there was Turbo Overkill or whatever. Or Turbo... I think that was that one. People are loving that one. You should probably play that one. You have a chainsaw for a leg, because of course you do. And it's just a game that is completely over the top. Features the voice of John St. John. What's his name? Mr. Duke himself. The voice actor in that game, so... Oh, there's a yellow ledge. Secret discovered. Ooh, you can jump pretty far. Wham! And you land. It's, it feels great. It's got, you know... Again, it's super important that the game world actually reacts on your impact, and it certainly does here. You just explode. But yeah, there's a lot of those out now, and we're spoiled for choice, right? So we shouldn't really complain, because a game like this would have come out back in the day. I mean, this is using a more modern renderer and stuff like that, obviously, but, you know, it's clear where it takes its inspiration from. And it channels a lot of Dune 2016 in its movement and things like that, for sure. There's no denying that. But we're spoiled for choice now, being able to pick up games like this anymore. And now, in this case here, since I already have Game Pass, whatever, I can just kind of play it, quote-unquote, for free, included with my subscription, as it were. Just guts still flying in the air when you stop. Satisfying combat. When the game focuses on combat, it better have some darn good combat, right? That's the whole point of this game. Whew, you can leap pretty far, too. I saw some stuff over here. Did I make it over there? Maybe. Clonk, clonk, clonk. Ooh, sure can. Whoa! That overshot just a smidge there. The movement is a little floaty, but you're also in a humongous space marine suit, so that would maybe explain that. Forget it. I have to go up that way. Boom, boom, boom. I didn't say I was good at this game. Oh. But it's like these games that, you know, I think that there was almost like a counter-revolution a little bit between the, you know, the fact you came from an era, early 2000s, where things turned into cover shooters, like Gears of War, and it feels to me that's what popularized that kind of gameplay style, where you were kind of like taking cover behind everything. Game is... Fix this. He's just reading, of course, when he's waiting. There we go. Fix the little border there. Anyway, he's reading in the, I'm sure it's a Bible equivalent, Space Marines. And also you can taunt anytime. Does nothing except just... Everyone's a heretic. We're running into some poisonous stuff now. That's always fun in the games. Very nice. Yeah, I might not have buying it. If Limited Run Games would come up with a big box version of for PC, that would be fantastic. Listening, LRG, come on, do it. Oh, you want to. Nice 90s. It's splatting. Who's shooting me? There's a freaking toad right there. Plague toad. Up here. There we go. I don't know where to go up there. Well, we're missing secrets, but we're progressing. Yeah, that's a fair trade-off. And I mean, I hate to say it too, but it's like, if you're not in a hurry, every game goes on sale eventually, right? Like, yeah, they're worth the money for, you know, what the developers put into them, and it's not an expensive game, but at the same time, I think that I speak for most of us when I don't have, like, you know, shortage of games to already play. Like, you're getting pummeled. Oh, hi there, Zoe. Zoe just had some surgery today. She's back here now. She just had her a dental cleaning done, so nothing serious, but she's still a little groggy and out of it. So I'm glad that she's here now. Don't walk on the keyboard, though. It took a few hours here now to kind of get used to... shooting me. My own grenade, or was it standing in the stuff? I'm about to die here. Whew. Go find some health here. I was pretty distracted there, but yeah, Zoe just had dental cleaning, so she was sedated today earlier, and she just recovered from it here very recently, so she's still groggy. She was hiding here for a while after, you know, she didn't trust me for a while there, which makes sense. I took her to somewhere, and she was all day in a kennel and whatever, so... But she's better now. She's walking around now. It's just she got home, she couldn't even walk straight. She just kept falling over. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. You're right, because this particular machine that we're using now, which is just sitting on a cardboard box, you know, this machine is not meant for, like, modern gaming, but it can play older games just fine, and for desktop use, it's fine. I think that's what Tech Ambrosia was trying to show, or Amber, in her cheap PC challenge, which is what this machine was built for, and then I ended up just... That's kind of when I took the pause. I decided I can't, you know, I'm not in a mood or mindset right now to continue making content, so I had to take a break, and that's where... But I might partake in the next year now. She's already posted a little bit of information around it, so... I think the idea and concept is fun, and I still have an idea on what to do with this, so I might just do it anyway. Outside the scope of the challenge, because it's just... Yeah. Amber's a super nice as well. A great content creator. And, I think that it would be fun to do what I had planned anyway. Sucra knows what I was going to do. $100 was the challenge goal. And the idea being you have to run a certain amount of benchmarks on it. So you can just do a retro machine or whatever. A full retro machine, unless you could run the benchmarks. I think there was like a DX7 benchmark in there, maybe. Which shouldn't be a problem with anything that's remotely, quote-unquote, modern. What I missed on, that I didn't understand when she posted a challenge originally, was that that did not include shipping. So when I was buying stuff on eBay over time, and she gave a very generous time frame, it was like a year, and I still didn't be able to pull it off. Then I was including shipping, which of course reduced my price and availability of parts, but the idea being was here, it's mostly a CRT-focused build for this kind of purpose here that we're doing right now. It was a fun thing, but of course it can run, you know, desktop views and by browsing for 1080p, no problem. But it is interesting to see what's going to happen here when Windows 10 goes end of life. I think we got some time on that one, even though they want everyone to go to Windows 11. What's this down here, then? Is this the actual route or a secret? Oh, that was level complete. Okay. I didn't explore everything there, but oh well, it's fine. Yeah, that's the thing. I think the biggest thing that she was posting was that you need to buy new, not new as in new parts, but just like don't use what you have because there's a different kind of challenge with that, which I get. The idea being is to see what you can find. What can you find for $100? Yeah, and I think you're right, Suka. We need to get to different countries and different currencies. That does become a challenge. I think, it still translates, but it's harder to quantify. And also depends on how lucky you are. Like last year or 2 years ago, someone got like a 1080 Ti, right? That was just, um, it was a card that was supposed to not work, and they got it to work, and it was worth like $10, and they have way more performance than many of the other competitors. How lucky are you, right? I bought a 970, which is a card that you could probably use still today. It was untested, and they did not say it was tested. That was on me. It is, no, it's not, yes, there's an option too. This is not my main system. My main system is over here, and the reason I'm doing this on this machine is that so that I can have a dedicated... I'm capturing... Oh, hey, my streaming issues are back. We're back to streaming issues, everyone. Been a while. Hopefully the stream is still running, or is it paused? Good times. Back again. Come on, you can do it. Come on, internet. Catch up. Get in there, slowly. If anyone can still hear me, actually, they're running fiber in our neighborhood right now, so we're getting fiber here. So I'm going to get a gig up, so I'm excited about that. Eventually, whatever they're done. But that's a blast from the past. Everything is as it should be. He's catching up. We'll give it a second. Come on, internet. You can do it! It's a little bit all over the place right now, but... it's still running, but... Yeah, no, it's, the streaming police arrived, but no, I'm just having the problems that I used to have with my, my up speed all of a sudden just going wonky like crazy. And I spent a lot of time trying to troubleshoot that, and it was good for a long time, and then apparently now that I'm back to streaming, it just kind of came back, so... having trouble maintaining a solid up speed, and we're not talking like a little bit, it's actually dropping down a lot. I spent a lot of time troubleshooting that, never got anywhere. I'm pretty sure it's my internet at this point. And fortunately, they're running fiber in our neighborhood now, so we should be getting that within a few months, I hope. But still waiting for it to catch up here. Any second now. I know we're getting poor connection, YouTube. I understand. OBS just kind of flopping over. There we go. Now it's green. Bam, back to green. So, there we go. All right, hopefully now it's back. But yeah. So now we're going to get fiber then, hopefully, which I'm excited for because the more stable connection, because this is cable right now, and we have the highest tier cable speed we can have here. But I also know cables and analog signal is dialed up to the nth degree, so fiber is hopefully going to be more reliable and also give me a gig up, which as a content creator is just fantastic. John, as far as your question on 2060 or 1070 or 80, depends on what you're going to use. I think that a 2060 is going to give you more features, right? Because the Pascal cards, so the 10 series, now you can't use DLSS and things like that. That can be a real game changer or benefit to you. I don't remember what the feature set is on the 2000 series cards, but I think there's DLSS, right? Or is that on 3000? So, and DLSS is a huge benefit versus a 1000 series, which can only run FSR at this point, and that's... if you're not familiar with, those are the AI upscalers. Or not the AI, but just the upscalers. And that can make a huge difference in performance. And also just the extra feature set stuff. So 2060 is probably a better deal to get for something that's going to last longer. And that's probably a valid 1440p card in a lot of cases versus a 1070, 1080. Gonna have a harder time with that nowadays, especially newer games. Because heck, I mean, I think the 2060 is about equivalent within the PS5 and the Xbox thereabouts. That's because it's a 6700 XT, I think, is the performance roughly, or even a 6700 non-XT is what is in those machines. Now, console is not one-to-one because they can optimize it for that hardware package. But it gives you an idea on what the performance is, so. I think at this point, I would probably take a 2060 over a 1080. I do have a 1080, but a 2060 feels like a better future-proofing in the sense, or not future-proofing, but just more feature set. But 1080 is a fantastic card, and I still have mine in another machine right now. It was a really good card. We may see some stuttering here and there because I said earlier, I'm not sure what is causing it, but I mean, this machine is old, right? Or not old, but... Come on, Zoe. Hi, kitty. Yeah, Zoe, she actually was drooling a lot earlier because she got, you know, she was put under, and they gave her cleaners and stuff like that in her mouth, and it caused her to foam at the mouth. Not foam, but just drool like crazy, so she has a bunch of drool on her fur here. But this is the first time now she's jumped up, so she must be coming out of it. When she got home, she couldn't walk straight and just kind of flopped over and laid me out, and they warned us about that, which is fine. But now she seems to be doing better because she's crawling around here. So they did tell us to keep her out of the general area with the dog and stuff over the night, so that she can, you know, rest peacefully. All right, where were we? Yeah, they tore up. They've actually dug a hole in our backyard that was big enough that our dog could go under and come out to the other side of the neighbor's yard if he wanted to. So we had to block it off. It'd be good if they could, you know, let us know, because if we hadn't seen it, our dog could have just snuck out under the fence. I get why they have to, but they've also been running for quite a while. They dig those, like, trench machines that go under the street with, like, they're really impressive. They can drill down and go across, and they've been running with conduit for it all across the neighborhood, so. Bam, bam. Bad guys over there. Need something for my bolt gun to talk to. Bam, bam. Little combat arena here. But I think that the PPC challenge is really cool because it does highlight the fact you don't always have to have the greatest and latest, or at least to show that there can be a purpose with old hardware and not just automatically discarded. And like, yeah, AAA games is different. Like, you're not playing Cyberpunk on this machine. That's not happening. But you can actually enjoy and experience a lot, even on an old card like this. Because, yeah, I had a 280X way back. That's what I played Witcher 3 on back when it came out. And, oh, hello. Whatever you are, you get a grenade. So we're going to see a little stuttering. I think that when there's new effects, new characters, so it feels like shader compilation stutter. The stutter struggle is real. Hashtag. It might be just because of the age of the system, so. It was pretty interesting to see when they were doing that because they were running... The conduit is super long. They were dropping that on the ground, and then like dragging it out, and it's like, you know, it's a huge spool of that, and they got to feed it into the ground, so they have like people walking down the street with them on their shoulders and stuff. Thing up here. That looks interesting up there. I'm not sure I can get up there. There's no map in this game, and I think that's a choice, too. It can get a little maze-like, from what I understand. But at the same time, and for you who have watched before, you're very familiar with my habitual opening up the map to check where I am, and it can be distracting, right? So, this is probably a cleaner way to do it. Splits into two. Gratifying combat. Yeah, the running is hilarious. Boom, 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 boom. Munitions booming. Lock and load. You feel the weight as he's moving. It's like, the thing with the Doom Slayer, right, is that even though he's just like this huge impact and like explosion stuff like that, he feels very light on his feet, and that's by design. But you never feel like he's making a huge impact on the game itself. Like, there's no heft to his movement to me. This makes you feel like just, man. It's going for a particular style, of course, so there's that. But how things explode when you shoot them. Got a new gun there. Shotgun. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. That is a shotgun, all right. We talked about this before. A good shotgun is important for an FPS. Games that have a weak shotgun, I'm looking at you, Doom 3. Not weak on power damage or power, but it's just weak in the impact. Shotgun needs to be like just wham. I think that reload is just ridiculous. You need a good shotgun in a shooter. That's just kind of goes to the territory. So how do you get that thing there? Can I run up and just grab it? Let's find out. Secret discover 298 contempt. Very contemptible. I love it when a dude lands. It's huge. But yeah, I'm excited as far as like, cause I spend so much time with the internet trying to figure out what the heck was going on. And I think at this point I have to get the ISP out, and I took a break from streaming and content, so it hasn't been that big a deal. But I'm excited to get fiber because I know it's just, the next step up, even though my down speed won't improve much. My up speed should hopefully, well, it will 10 double. I have 100 meg up right now, and the fiber is synchronous. You get a gig down, gig up, and being able to upload at a gig, that sounds fantastic. And then for streaming, of course, you can't hit that limit, because right now I'm just streaming up at 10 megabits per second with AV1 to get this quality in 1440p, and it's fine. But the stability, that's what's important. So a lot of this stuff here. You see it just really struggling as it's loading in new stuff, I think, textures. I have a feeling you're not going to see that problem when you play the same level again. That'd be my guess. It does have a nerf look to it. Oh, that's hilarious. Kraken Boltgun magazine. Oh, wow. It upgraded the Boltgun. Jeez. That's also important. You gotta kind of keep doling out upgrades to make things feel more powerful. It's not a different one, it's just permanent upgrade. If this is a permanent upgrade, it sure looks like it. It's great. Like, don't do the whole thing where they did in back in the day, where you have, like, here's pistol. Now you're upgraded the pistol and you'll never use it again. Here, the Boltgun is, like, the iconic weapon. That's the one you should have. Keep upgrading it. Like, don't get rid of it, because it's just... it's the name of the game, so... But, I mean, it's like, we've had a long time to ruminate on how games... keep this on hand. Close encounters. This is a phenomenal experience so far. Imagine if they made a new if they did Quake, revitalize Quake. They could do it in the Doom 2016 and Eternal style, but what if they did it as a shooter like this with the chunky pixel graphics and... Oh, hello. You're gonna die now. Good music, too. Revenant, welcome back as well. Cats running around. Yeah, exactly, and that's what it's really trying to channel, right? And it does it so well. Shotgun ammo, kinda need that. Oh, I didn't realize you had to wait for the... And that thing takes a lot of hits. I guess I should have realized that you have to load it, of course, manual. Load. Oh, this is a temporary upgrade on the... That's fine, too. I have a feeling you're going to get upgrades anyway, but that was a temporary upgrade, so... But point being, you need to keep the gun still interesting and not just replace them all the time, right? Very much as Proteus that we played in other times got very similar style to it. Well, as it happens, Revenant, I am playing this on my CRT, of course, because that's where it belongs. But this game fits so well on a piece of CRT of the era. 1280 by 1024 on a CRT, and it's a great match. You can even play it lower, of course, to get even chunkier scan lines. But actually, the scan lines are... No, sorry. The whole thing that the scan lines are technically the black line... not the black lines. The scan lines are what you see. But that's what we call them, so... point being that these kind of retro boomer shooters, as we call them again, fit fantastic on a piece of CRT. They just feel made for them. But yep, I'm probably not back to regular schedule yet, so I'm not going to say that I'm absolutely going to stream next week again. I just felt like streaming. It's been a while. And, shotgun is brutal. Ammo. I'm full of contempt. Where the shotgun is on 2. My reptile brain tells me I should have shotgun on 3 and pistol on 2, so... yeah, we can probably play more Alice at some point, too. I was actually trying to test it out on the Mac, too, just for the heck of it, because that's where my copy's for, of course, so... Boltgun ammo. I watched a speedrun of this, actually. I think they ran it at AGDQ. It was hilarious, because I think they had... Maybe, is that the one I saw it on? I think they had developers online as they were running it, and it was flying through it. Just absolutely flying, of course. And they were like, oh, that's... Oh, you're... Oh, okay, you know. They were just, like, blown away by... Our game is basically broken as you're like, oh, we made that for you to go there, but never mind, you know? Yeah, technical millennial shooters. That's probably more an apt description. But that's probably why, you know, they do them... For me, it's like anything else. If you take the term for yourself, and for me it means more like the visceral, like kind of Doom, heretic, you know, the ridiculousness or impact, the chunky feel to them is more boomer for me. You know, rocket launchers and Rise of Triad and all that stuff. Versus the idea being that it's a generational thing. But technically, you're probably right. Millennial shooters, because that's harkened back to our on memory. But this game plays like a dream, really. Playing on a CRT feels natural, too. I don't feel like I'm missing out. I'm sure I could play it as an ultra-wide, and it would be a great experience, too, on my main machine. But here, it just fits so darn well. Disintegrate when you hit them with the shotgun. I think you went flying. Yeah. Great. I can see the levels getting all samey with this kind of design, right? Because they're all kind of this cathedral thing, so... yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, too. That seemed to make sense when I heard it, or when we were talking about it. I didn't make the connection that it was first to do with, like, you know, okay, boomer. I think another thing that's been tossed around is throwback retro shooter, right, or something like that. And one that I definitely do want to check out at some point, and maybe we'll stream it too, is Turbo Overkill. Oh, okay. Turbo Ultra Kill, or whatever it's called. Time your jumps correctly. Race the Amicia. Secret discovered. There's so much lore in here from the Warhammer 40k universe that I am just not... Yeah. That's true. Almost, yeah. Although when you look at those games, they're probably not made by the boomer generation because they're more like Gen Z and stuff, right? Or level design, too. The Nintendo thing, I think, was predictable. I'm amazed it took this long for them to do that. It's one thing to emulate old systems and stuff for preservation and all that stuff, but when you have a current system and the games are coming out on the emulator and as playable before they're out in retail, you're kind of setting yourself up for that. I'm not sure if this is a secret or not. And it was kind of, oh, this is back to the beginning, huh? It was kind of expected, I think, that it took that long for them to go after that. The fact that they were making money off it, you know, they were leaking games, they were just... It was not for preservation, it was a piracy. I don't think, you know... It's hard to argue anything else because that's what it was for. Oh, I think we're gonna run into this guy later, more normally. Like typical thing where you run into an enemy that was a boss and then later it'll be a... baddie. Already been here. Yeah, I'll go into the cathedral there. Whee! Geon Nearest is a good one because I like turning that off in... for those unfamiliar, that's how the scaling is done, right? Or in the texture smoothing that you see in Quake and things like that. In GL Quake. You can turn that off and you get the same acceleration from the Voodoo card, but with the chunky pixels instead, and it's great, so... yeah. I mean, I suppose it's just a different landscape for that kind of thing now. Bleem was uncharted territory, and I could be very wrong here. The way I took it was that you needed decryption keys to be able to, like, you know, copy or reverse engineer the switch, and they used those illegitimately. That's what they went after in the court. That's why they settled. That's the problem, right? They were using stuff that got flagged under DMCA, and that's much harder to argue in court because there's copyrighted material that someone owns. Versus, like, you know, we're just doing homebrew emulation or whatever. It was, they could tie that together and show conclusively that they had, you know, quote-unquote stolen that. And that made them settle in court real quick. I think that if they would have dug around more, they probably would have found even more stuff and probably put those guys away for life, you know. Or huge fees. So they probably cut their losses and ran. And that's probably what you should do. They would probably been in debt for the rest of their lives, even if they already are, so... Yeah, and that's interesting. What's interesting now, I think, that we haven't seen before... yeah, it's true. Yeah, this game would, like, be fantastic to have on Switch. Maybe it is on Switch. No. But it's deceptive sometimes. These games that look simplistic often have pretty advanced rendering techniques behind them. Like, yeah, because a lot of this geometry, stuff like that, but yeah. What is interesting now is that the backwards compatibility of this last gen now for PS4 and Xbox One is just through the roof. Like, you can take virtually any last gen game, pop it in your modern console or current console and play it. What does that do to emulation there? You're right, because that calls into question, a lot of reading, the games can still be viable and sold for a long time now. And that makes emulation a little trickier because I don't have a huge problem. And personally, I have... The law doesn't see it that way. If I buy a game, I feel I have a right then to emulate it. But the law doesn't always see it that way. And I'm just a, you know, small-time user. But if you're producing stuff and selling it for profit and etc., then it gets trickier. The impact of the Boltgun is fantastic. Again, make the base game gun fantastic. Got a good recipe for boomer shooter. Sorry, millennial shooter. Mill shoot, as we call it now. Evening Duke Burger, welcome. I'm glad you were able to join. I was gone for quite a while here now, of course, and just kind of came back here for today. I felt like streaming this week for reasons. Maybe because Boltgun came out. I saw it was coming to Game Pass, and that's how we're playing it here. Yeah, and just like, well, I should probably play that. I'm like, I should probably stream that. So, not guaranteeing a return to a schedule yet, but figured, like, why not? We'll play some Boltgun. And it's living up to exactly what I was expecting so far, which is awesome. Oh, that's fantastic. The impact, again. Yeah, that's the thing too, Revenant. It's like, if you're sitting here as a small-time developer, and you have some money and some success from it, you go up against a juggernaut, like Nintendo or Microsoft or Sony or someone. It's like, they can just literally drag out the law process so long that you run out of money. You cannot fight that juggernaut. And in many cases, it's a matter of how much of a principle is it, right? And you could potentially set it up so that emulation will just basically outlawed across the board. I think that companies are okay with it, mostly, it seems like. But it's just when you start cutting into their profits and stuff like that, or games that are being sold, and it sounds like one of the problems or things that may then go after Yuzu, which is that Switch emulator, was the fact that games were available on it the same day that they were coming out, or even before they were coming out on the Switch. That's a problem. You look at, like, PS3 and 360 emulation now. That's still getting better, but it's still just now getting good. So, if you have stuff coming out right away for things that are still being sold, that's going to put a big target on your back. I think so. There's just no way around that. Boltgun. You got, that's a good point, Eton, because the whole thing of we're not owning it anymore, right? Because even today, like, I look back at the games I have back here. I own these games, like, behold my stuff. But the games back here, I bought the game, like, even in the 90s. I have the box, I have the game, I pop it in, I own the game, technically, right? Or it's still iffy because you're technically owning a license to use the game. But I have the game, I can install it for all eternity. Till disc rot. You buy a game now, even a console game on disc might just be a download code or unlock the license, and they can rescind that at any time they feel like it. The same way you have day one patch and stuff like that. So it's a different kind of world now where we don't own the games. I know Ubisoft came on and said, like, we need to get used to not owning our games and renting them, which is why Game Pass has become so popular. They're just renting. You're paying money per month. PlayStation Plus has been like that forever, where you get games for free every month, as long as you keep subscribing. So you're renting them ad nauseum, right? So where does piracy end? Or, like, it's just they hold all the cards, right? And they own the rights to them. So yeah, it's iffy. I don't know the answer to that, but I don't think emulation should just be outlawed because it is a great tool. But if they are not smart about it and just keep using it for nefarious purposes and flaunting it, then that's a problem. So, wind picked up outside like crazy. We might get some snow here in the Midwest. Look down there. I wonder if you can get to that. Shooting me down here. We're up here. Not anymore, they are. Flat. I wonder if you can land on this here. Oh, yeah. Mega damage. Can't see because it's so dark. That's a good way to start that fight. Or we have a enemy arena here now. I'm gonna focus on the What happened here? Trying to focus. Sorry, it was just a lot going on there at the same time. Recovery here. Forget that, it's too slow. Ah. But it went all hardcore here now, sorry. Plasma gun ammo's full. And there's a plasma gun in the middle there, but can I get to it? I can. Without dying? Yes, I can. Alright, we're a plasma gun now. Which just nukes people, apparently, so that's cool. Whoops, they're low in health there. Kind of blew up myself. Whew. Man, that was an intense combat arena here, and I'm not very good at this kind of thing either, but that's channel Doom 2016 there, pretty hardcore. Health here, pick up some... Oh, there's a nice health kit. Nice. There we go. I don't want to move on to the next area and just be already dead. Here, because yeah, that health disappeared awfully fast. So, so I'm going to try to catch up on chat here. Move, go, continue. Yes. Yes, Emperor. And landing. Bam. Some more health. Then we'll continue. The work is not done. I'm playing Space Marine on the Amiga, and it's a tactical turn-based thing where we're fighting Gene Stealers because they're the alien-esque baddies, right? Everyone fights, so. Let's see. Sorry, I can catch up here now. Yeah, with the DMC loss and all that stuff, it's all geared towards the rights holders. I mean, big time. That's been known for a long time. They're the ones with the money, they're lobbying, and they feel like they're protecting corporate interest. There's a lot of money flowing around on that. So, I get why they're so eager to protect it. You think that they could find a better balance, though, like Sega is and, you know, Capcom and stuff like that, where they kind of let fan things slide. But emulator's tricky because, again, you're, like, Nintendo had a good point. There's no lawful way to use whatever. That emulator is made for bypassing... So, oh, some secrets, yeah. Bypassing copy protection on the device. That's kind of what it's made for, right? So, but I think that Gabe Newell put it very well. He said that piracy is a service issue, not a protection issue. I don't think he said exactly that way, but it's a service issue. Make the service as good as possible, and you don't see people pirating. And I think that's what made Steam so popular, because it's not that intrusive. It's a good service that just works. I prefer my games on Steam because it works across all my devices. And I mean, it's just... That's kind of what, you know... That's what you need to do. Have a good storefront and a good system like that. So... you know, Mike Boy, welcome. As far as Sweden joining NATO today, that was overdue there. It took a little while, thanks to Hungary and Turkey having their own objections to it. But I think the NATO alliance is stronger now. Sweden has always been integrated pretty well with NATO for a long time. They all have the hardware. They use the same ammunition. All that stuff. They're going to be a good addition to it. So, no, it's not a matter of defending the piracy. I get it, but it's just like towing the line. It just, I think that companies can begrudgingly accept that emulation exists, but when people go so far to the side that they're putting paywalls and it's like they ruin it for everyone else that's working on emulators because it takes other emulators down with them and it causes a bad blood for it, right? Because there's tons of emulators like that you can play random games on or retro or newer or stuff like that, and they all are amazing. And in some cases, it might give you an opportunity to play games that you never did. Say that you have never had a 360 and you get a 360 emulator, Xenia, I think is called, right? And you can play on that, and that gives you a chance to explore the library. Some cases with the original games or not. That's the iffy part, right? Because there's preservation, and I think preservation. Well, I'm reading from the book of the soapbox here now, but preservation I think becomes a shield a little too much. Video games are still entertainment, and they are owned by the creators. I think that it's sad when games disappear due to the fact that people put passion and, like, artists working on it for years, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it is a product. It is a product, and we all love products of varying degrees. We can get a little obsessive about products, why our product is either the best or why they should be saved for all eternity, etc. But at the end of the day, it is a product. So I think the preservation thing gets thrown around a little too much. We should preserve, but it doesn't justify every single piece of piracy of all eternity. So, I don't know. I think it's a more complex issue than just people good, corporations bad, because they're still making these things that we're enjoying, right? So, I don't know. I'll get off my proverbial soapbox and get back to my Boltgun here now. But yeah, it's great to see Sweden joining NATO. I think that the alliance is needed to be stronger than ever due to Russia's aggression in Ukraine. So that's what prompted it straight up. Sweden has been neutral for a long time, but they realized that the writing's on the wall. Russia's always been this kind of like, and now it's pretty obvious what they're doing. So here we are. That's true. Nintendo doesn't do PC ports. I like that Sony and Microsoft are doing that. I mean, Microsoft's been doing it for quite a while, but Sony's been opening up that more and more to more quicker ports because they realize that there's an untapped market there. Yeah, I'm also just like, when it comes to preservation, it's like, so I get a few people are asking me questions. I'm trying to keep up, so sorry. But at the end of the day, I want everything to preserve, but I think I get a little tired sometimes. And again, I don't want to push people down, but like, hey, we found this one alpha version of this game, and it's super hailed as like the next thing. Oh, wow, awesome. And it's just a step in the product, and it's still a product. Like, we love video games, of course. But at the end of the day, again, it's a product. It's made to be sold and made money on. And I think that we kind of lose sight of that a little bit when we try and, quote-unquote, preserve everything we can. Not every single thing maybe has to be preserved to that degree, I guess. You kind of get blinders on. But who makes that decision? I don't know. So I don't fault people for wanting to preserve everything. But yeah, I don't know. I guess that's typing Fast and Furious. As far as, like, I feel like I should be. It's like, hey, Aryok Games or whatever, if you want to give me a kickback. Game is good. It's straight up good. I'll just recommend it as a game that I am playing right now. Of all the games I'm playing right now, this is my favorite. But I'm not sure as far as, like, a schedule. And I will definitely try and stream a little more. I think it's just, I had a hard time committing to a schedule. I have enjoyed playing a lot of different games. My wife and I have been playing Baldur's Gate 3 co-op. We're now just got to the third act. You know, having a looser schedule has been good for my mental health, I think. And that means that I will stream again. I am working on a video, and I would like to make that video, but I want to make it at my own pace. Not feel, because I think that most of us that have done content creation, it's easy to get in your head that keep making videos, keep making things. And YouTube is like pushing that on you to say, hey, you haven't made a video in a while, what's up, you know? Because they want their ad revenue, so. Jumping around here. Whee! Yeah, this game is awesome. I think it distills and condenses everything that the retro-style boomer shooter, we're not calling it now, but everyone's calling it, is about. Punchy combat, great feel, speed, cool weapons, cool environments, cool story. I mean, cool. Just it's a cohesive package. Now, of course, I have not played this whole game. And I'm not sure if I will... I'm not good at completing games, that we know. I'd like to shoot someone now, though. And that's... that is the character in Space Marine. You are playing as Captain Titus. Or Space Marine. I should really play the 2013 Space Marine. Maybe we'll stream that too sometime. I've never really played it, so... Oh, I'm missing that key. Like a key card hunt. That kind of thing. Well, I did get the red keys. I just gotta find the red door, I guess. Thud, thud. This is where I got it. This is where the key was, right? Yeah, it's clearly not in here. Onwards. I am trying to find onwards. Trying to find where the door is. Just like old times. Yeah, it's difficult. I think that don't get me wrong. I love this. I love hanging out. I love playing video games and talking nonstop, and I really, really enjoy it. I think what really was the challenging part was just the time commitment, because knowing that there was a thing, while I enjoy the streaming aspect of it, I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I think that kind of goes a lot with content creators. And it just feels that I need to be perfect in my stream setup and etc, etc. It took a long time to get to this point where I could kind of just start streaming. But, you know, yesterday I spent all evening just, you know, making a thumbnail for this and setting it up. Ooh, there's the door. Making sure this machine was working and all this stuff. So then you use that, and then the second day too, and it's a time commitment. And knowing that you're locked in for that, while I enjoy it, it just feels like, all right, I got to set up. So, anyone to shoot here? I feel shotgun ammo. We have that one. Oh, we got some transparency and fog effects here. The curse of any video game. Big baddie here now, because... Whoops. Super effective. Yeah, and that might be. I might go with a more modest streaming schedule. It's a good idea, just to kind of hold off a little bit and, like, you know, once in a while. Because, again, I do really enjoy this. It's fun, and I did miss that part. That's what made me stream again. But, yeah, I'm just afraid of the lockdown of doing it over and over. If that makes sense, so... Yeah, it's just... The amount of people going into the Ukraine war is just awful. Because it's just frustrating right now. My adopted home country here now, where Congress is stuck, and it's just like... This is very much like a clear-cut good versus evil scenario. And we should be supporting Ukraine as much as we can. And no one wins by having Ukraine fall. Except Russia. And it just shows that they can do this. And they're doing it at the cost of their citizens. And just awful right across, and it makes me frustrated when we're already forgetting, you know, what's going on. But anyway, but I think that was just Sweden now to have security guarantees has to join NATO. They didn't feel they needed before, but now we do. So, and I get it and I support it. So, the world we live in now, fortunately. Oh, yeah, that's the kicker, too, is, like, I have the streaming set up here, right, and I'm able to turn on something, and that's what, I'm sure you saw on Discord, I built the idea that you can just sit down and do something for a system or something is really important for me, because if you have to have a barrier of, like, setup, it's less likely for you to do it. And that's the case with a lot of this here, I think. I almost want an alternate fire. That's what I'm missing. It feels like weird. Cold dudes are just... Take a grenade. Fitting and stuff. Annoying as... They're annoying as heck, I tell you. Pardon my French. There. Your shotgun blast to the face seems to fix that problem. But being able to like sit down and do whatever you want as far as system goes instead of dragging something out. So then you probably saw on Discord then I built a couple of new desks to put to have, and when I film in the future, those will be in the background. That won't be just a plain gray wall. And being able to just sit down there and have a machine ready to go for just my own enjoyment, or decide to do something with it, is fantastic. And the desks are super sturdy, so I'm really excited about using my desks. Different kinds of grenades. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to talk to Mr. Boltgun? Build that thing here. But yeah, the desks ended up really nice. I've been wanting to do that kind of style for a long time. I love butcher block. I'm a Scandinavian, so Pine butcher block is kind of my thing. So bought them from Lowe's, and then I coated them with a polyacrylic coat, and steeled them, and then put some really sturdy legs from Home Depot. They're massive legs, metal. They hold 200 pounds each. And I have 5 legs on there, so I think this should be good for CRTs, but the table doesn't budge when I put something on there. So an 1.5 inch solid wood, 6 feet wide, 25 inches deep, and then it's 5 legs. And it's super nice to have a spot for it, right? So I was rigging up machines yesterday for the LAN party coming here on Saturday, and not here, but I go into someone's house. But just being able to take like a computer, bam, plug, and go. Like, it's nice to have that dedicated spot. So I'm looking forward to having machines set up there. Like, maybe I have, an old Mac, Amiga, a 46, something like that, and just a mixture, and then swap them out as I want. Not to make it cluttered, but to make it look usable and tidy. I'm looking forward to messing with that, so. I got that key now, so. Yeah, nobody wants boots on the ground because it is... But it's just, at some point, it gets to the point where, like, it's... People are dying every single day. Yeah, once if US or NATO puts boots on the ground, it is World War III. But yeah. Anyway, video games. Yeah, that's the eternal thing, too. It's just, there's so many backlog games. And that's why the Steam Deck has helped me, because I can play those games that I already own on Steam, or buy new ones on sale, and enjoy them. And it's a good, like, backlog thing. Unfortunately, my backlog, I think, is growing exponentially since I got the deck, because, like, ooh, that'd be great on the deck, and I buy it. Ooh, that's deck verified. Ooh, this bundle is pretty cheap, and then, here we are. Those toads are super annoying. That's the thing, I have so many of those games. I am so far into Cyberpunk, I have not finished it. And I finally have the rig to play it, and I've played it on and off, and then I stop, and... I don't know. I think I need to take what I do sometimes, I take a day off, and I just do nothing but play video games. Like, feel like I have no responsibilities today. I'm just gonna mess around in the basement and play video games, and I think I need to do that again soon. Maybe finish Cyberpunk. I never finished Witcher 3. I never played the expansion packs on that. My shame log is very long. So, that's a satisfying shotgun, if I ever heard one. Junk, blam, junk, blam. Everything hurts me too. But I like that this game doesn't rely on covers at all. It's just like... you have to charge right in. I know it's supposed to help, but I keep buying new games instead. I really enjoy when they do this kind of thing, the color splashes, because this game could be just brown and gray and kind of monotonous, but they do have color splashes, and I think that's super important. It adds a very nice aesthetic, too, to have that little bit of mixture. Good. Health. So I seem to be getting hit a lot, but also you're a very big target. Who's shooting me? He did. That's the thing. Yeah, still, I think it's important to have a hobby that feels fulfilling too, or whatever you do, right? Video games are great. I love video games, obviously, but that's why I keep getting pulled back into content creation, or like, I enjoy making videos, right? When everything clicks and you are editing and stuff like that, I think it's a great experience, but it's just all the effort that leads up to it to get that perfect shot and all that stuff. It can be just endless, but it can be rewarding too, and I think it's important to stay busy. If you kind of waste away not doing anything, I think that feels bad eventually too. So I'm excited to do that whenever I retire. It's just mess with retro hobby on my own schedule. I have a coworker here who's going to retire here soon. You know, he's got a lot of plans and everything, and I'm just not going to do anything. And sometimes I'll go fishing, and I'll do this, and I have my plans. I want to do gardening and cooking, and like, that sounds amazing. I look at my parents being retired, and you know, they travel, and they do a whole bunch of stuff. They don't often just sit and do nothing. So that's what I'm hoping my retirement will be. Barring any health issues, I guess. For now, it's a 9-to-5 thing still for quite a few years. So my oldest kid is in middle school, my youngest is still in elementary, so got a little while to go on all that stuff. That gun is something else when it hits. Ah, you know, that, I wonder, because I looked at my parents when they retired. It took a while for them to kind of wind down. They worked in the service profession for a long time. Commence purge protocol. It took a while for them to, like, enjoy their retirement, if that makes sense, because it took them a while to wind down. It's Boltgun time. I love the Boltgun is still highly useful here. Like, it's not like a weapon that's been replaced. But what I was going to say is that the beginning of retirement sounds amazing when you finally have your own schedule and time. And you know what I'm going to do? I am going to run errands between 9 and 10 in the morning just because I can. I'm going to go out to get coffee. I'm going to go to the store. The time when it's calmer and everyone else is rushing to work. That's when I'm going to run my errands. I love that on my days off. Like, you know, I'm going to run an errand at 9 o'clock in the morning because there's still a few people left. That is a big toad. I don't think I'm going to survive this encounter if I... We'll use some big health here, but I'm not sure I'm finding that. I'm not sure. Oh, it's saved right here. That's nice. Right where this encounter started. That was a big toad. Ah. Yeah, that's what I'm finding too. I'm at least hoping that by the time they get to the age where they're kind of like on their own, not on their own, but like when they don't want anything to do with me, if that makes sense. Like they are busy with their own lives and off with friends and that kind of stuff. And I own I think a fraction of one stock of NVIDIA, which I just bought it like on a joke when I thought it was pretty expensive. Now it's through the roof, so that portfolio has gone up a lot. But we're talking about a lot is like, you know, $2 here and there. There's a lot of gore here. I'm trying to think if I even have one whole share. I might, but that toad does so much damage. Good lord. Trying to focus here now because this toad is just wrecking me. Pick some of this health here. Ow. Ow, when that acid, whatever that is, hits. Oh, this is chainsaw. I wish I could zoom in a little bit. Pizza. Whoa, that's far down. That stupid toad. Right there. There, finally got him. I don't want to die to the lesser ones. That's kind of humiliating. Fuck. Good lord. Oh, health. Yes, please. There we go. That's what I needed. That feels better. Woo! Sorry, I was really focused there because I didn't want to have to restart that encounter again. Bet I can't hit for anything here. Another one? Is it eternally spawning here? What's going on? I don't think this game had eternally spawning here. I like how fast he can move too. I don't think that in the lore they were moving this quickly in this power armor, but that's fine. Because video games. Is that it? That's it. Maybe? Oh, is it dropping again? Oh, sorry. We'll pause in a corner and wait. Oh, well, that break. Little jerks. Come on, internet. You can do it. I think it's recovering slowly here, but back to the good old days. Yeah, we're looking forward to when we do get the actual fiber here, because I'm hoping that should take care of this problem. All right. I think it's back now. There we go. I think we survived this combat encounter, but barely. That was a rough one. Well, it's probably the biggest, like, arena fight I've had so far here in this game. Must have been. Now the question is, where did I go? Yeah, I mean, they could maybe, but the problem now is NVIDIA is just so flipping dominant. Great, that would have been good to have. Oh, it's a specific magazine, I see. I mean, they can set their price. Just whatever they want. As far as, like, as an AI supplier. I think that was it. Purge finished. Combat Arena completed. When it comes to NVIDIA, because they just have the market in a chokehold, right? That no one else can come close to competing on the AI side. Glad you're fired up for this. High energy. Yeah, NVIDIA is just, and you know, what else do they have in pipeline we haven't even seen yet? I think that every other competitor is going to be years behind them, unfortunately, for a long time, because they pump, the more money they make, the more they can put into R&D. Every time someone catches up with a feature or something, and especially on the AI chip side, they just come up with something new. It's just insane, because, I mean, the money they get from the consumer side of it, of buying GPUs, is pretty minor compared to what they make in data center and AI chips, and just an absurd amount. Just absolutely absurd amount. And they can set the price right now. No one else can come close or compete, so. And that's not good for the market, so. Just, I mean, their proprietary stuff is, I don't know. I hate that we got into that point. I would love for Intel and AMD to be real competitors, but if you look at it, if you want the best performance today in video game on a PC, it's hard to say any card that's not an NVIDIA. I know I'm generalizing now, and maybe I'm trying not to show bias or anything, but it's like, if you want the latest features, then you pretty much go NVIDIA, and that's, you know, I wish there was more direct competition. AMD is just a fraction now what they used to be, so. I don't remember where the green key door was. It was all the way back, or if it was in this combat arena here. Bam! Bam! Boom, boom. And it's in NVIDIA's best interest to make it as much proprietary stuff for them too, right? That's what they want to do. But to my knowledge, just like where they make the real big bucks is just the data center deliveries of chips to power the AI gold rush right now, right? And that's, they're making absolute bank. I mean, look at the revenue from NVIDIA, and you look at see where much money is coming in from the data center side. It's mind-boggling amounts of money. So their valuation went up. I mean, they're like they're worth so much now. Isn't it like the third most, or like worth most company in the world now already or something? They just can print money at this point. Yeah. Yeah, it really, I would like to check out an ARC card. It looked like a good, cool compromise, especially as the drivers improved now, too. But I want... RT, for me, in AAA gaming has become too important to ignore. So, for me, I'm really bummed out that AMD doesn't have better performance on the RT side. If they had better performance, something I would consider more. But they're way behind on that. That's a bummer, because it's something I really think is important. Personally, that may be different for everyone else, so... I do not remember where that green door is at all. Look at this. Secret. Bam. Oh. Glorious. Hello, Christian. Welcome. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's a lot of money. Maybe I was oversimplifying it, but if you look at look at the consumer sales, and then you look at what they get from now, because you have, like, you know, Facebook placed like a freaking $1 billion order of just, like, chips for their AI stuff, you know. Microsoft's been buying GPUs like crazy, and every time a new generation comes out, they're going to keep more and more honing these cards to be data center specific for AI stuff. I mean, you need a lot of horsepower to run all that AI, and that's the latest thing everyone wants, so we're all using it to make funny pictures, I guess. I wonder where this door is. I don't remember where the yellow door was at all, and I'm kind of lost now. I think it was down here, right? Check through this area. Or a map would be nice. Oh, right here. Found it. Oh, this is a close encounter area. Splat. Finest work of righteous. Yeah, this game is pretty awesome, I will say. I'm curious how well it runs on the deck, too. It might be a good portable one, but of course mouse and keyboard is, you know, what we like, so... Boom, boom. Keep thinking my little guidance guy there is an enemy, because I see the light, I'm like, oh, he's a bad guy. Nope. So we're using... I've been using Copilot and stuff in a work-related setting, and it's, you know... like anything else that mushes together different content, it's good for... You can summarize an email chain. That's very useful. I don't use it for content creation. I know some of our content teams are interested in using it for, like, filling in, or, like, if you're sending a lot of the same info to a lot of people, it can be really useful to use that to rewrite it or whatever, and I get it, so... nice. New gun there. I'm on an influence of some heavy stuff here now, and it's great, but it makes it really hard to see. Oh, I hate those toads. I gotta focus a little bit when I get into these combat arenas. Flammo is a big one. Man, they keep you on your toes, that's for sure. Whoa, hi. Oh, that's gonna kill me. I didn't realize there was one of those big guys there, and right into him. What did we pick up here now? Rockin' Boltgun. That might be handy. So much blood I can't even see. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's try this again. Breathing room. Man. These combat arenas are a little intense. Sorry if I lose like track of everything else. Just trying not to die. Oh, there's a big guy there. Time for the plasma gun. I actually have to hit though. Purge protocol disabled. Alright. Intense. I mean, it's good intense. Just intense. Whew. Reload everything. Kill the big guy and they're good, so. Okay. Ammo and... I like there are a lot of hidey holes, if you will, because there's no cover mechanic in that. Well, besides getting behind a box or something, but the fact that it has a little nooks and crannies that you can hide in here and there, so you don't just get peltered. But there's a lot of stuff hitting you at the same time. Nice landing there. More stuff. It's pretty nice that you have a lot of little pickups like that that kind of help you stay in the fight versus just huge ones that are hidden more strategically. It's a little more strategic fight, I guess. Whew. Yeah, and that's the thing too with AI stuff, like how much, because you know they always say like AI can hallucinate and stuff, and that's anything you're using that for. Will tell you, like, you know, double check the work or data or whatever. That's a little bit of a terrifying prospect too, especially when you're making decisions based on it. I think like anything else, it's a tool, and used correctly it can be powerful, but you know, we love our AI upscaling in games and stuff for these AI enhancers, but lately we're already seeing the bad side of that too, people using it for faking stuff, and it's like everything else. Tools get misused. Based on everyone died being dead here, I think so. Must be where it came from. Never gets old, the weight and impact that your character has. Again, I mentioned earlier, but just knowing that your character kind of not necessarily leaves an impact or mark on the world, but that they feel like they are actually in the world and not just kind of floating around or whatever. Especially a game like this that relies so much on this studying here. There's the exit. All right. Progress. Yeah, we got all the secrets. All right, 100%. All right. That was not a speed record. Martyr's Crossing. Heavily fortified against a demonic invasion, but no longer under Imperial control. Push forward and clear it. Optimal route through this area is forward. Don't know. Thank you. So what are some of your favorite kind of boomer / retro revival shooters then? I know Medieval was one that I really enjoyed when I streamed that. Did enjoy Proteus as well, so I'm not sure if you guys have any ones that you particularly like. Besides now Boltgun, obviously, but... Well, someone mentioned Aeon Wrath of... I don't remember exactly what the subtitle was there, but... It was a Dusk, I know it was very good. So that has to be a secret back here. I love that the Boltgun just makes them explode. I think they would have taken something away from this game if there was kind of like a small pistol, like light caliber, doesn't do much damage. The fact that the Boltgun itself is so chunky. They just like explode because it has explosive rounds, I think, and that's what makes it fantastic. Yeah, Medieval really is great, just great. Yeah, it would be a lot of fun too. There's got to be other games like this that have co-op. It just adds so much fun when you do that. Very nice. I should play Space Marine 1. Yeah, the levels are very, very large, for sure. Misuse of Imperium's containers is punishable by execution. A lot of sludge here. Flat. Good thing they put a lot of barrels around here. They always do. Yeah, I don't think NVIDIA's gonna go down anytime soon. It's gonna keep going up and up. To the moon, as it were. The AI moon. Yeah, that's right. The levels are pretty ginormous. That's the thing that, you know, you don't think too much of it, but looking at this sprawling environment here, this would not have been something that you would have seen in any of the games in the 90s. They wouldn't have enough capacity to do that. Versus here, they can do that, you know, pretty easily. I'm not sure what this game runs on as far as engine, if it's in-house, or if it's some Unreal derivative, or something. I'm guessing it's proprietary, their own custom engine maybe, but I could be wrong there. Developers have gotten, a lot of developers have gotten really good about, you know, how they apply or use you know, the current engines. Like, yes, I know we all like to dig on Unreal and whatever, but some developer, I mean, we've had some great games on Unreal Engine, all its varieties. I think the biggest thing I have against it is the whole stutter thing that we've had for so long now with UE4, but shader compilation and all that crap. But it's more about how they use it than the engine, right? So I'm a little curious what this is running on, so. No, they, yep, there you go. Data center, that's the big one. That's where they make the real money now. So don't get me wrong, that's a lot of money on just GPUs and consumer sales. But when you look at AI, looked like there was a secret there. Why would they stack this here? Well, shooting it didn't work, so I'm out of ideas. Chainsaw didn't help either. Promising secrets, but whatever. Press forward. I think they wouldn't even try. I see a Space Marine coming in. It's like, oh, it's game over now. And the trailer for Space Marine 2 had that to great effect, because it shows like regular soldiers, you know, fighting, trying to fight the Tyranids. They're coming in or whatever, and the Space Marines come down and just like mow right through them, right? Because they're just walking tanks. That's the whole point of the Space Marine. They're just unstoppable juggernauts. And I think this game portrays that quite well. I've heard that Space Marine itself does that very well, too, so. Huh. Interesting. That was Unreal Engine then, so it must be UB4 then, I assume. But no, that's the point. It's like, you can have a bad, like, feel to the Unreal Engines, but I mean, we have had some fantastic games and experiences on Unreal too, so I do love, like, the Red Engine that CD Projekt Red uses. It uses for Witcher and Cyberpunk, and it's been amazing, but that is a wall. Elevator. But yeah, Unreal Engine has given us a lot of fantastic experiences, so. There, he blew up. Yeah, I really should check it out. I don't know if I never did. I think I bought the... I have the physical copy of the DVD case, whatever, but I still have yet to play it. It seems a little silly. In fact, it is silly. Let us not go there. This is a silly place. Quite nimble for being in this hulking huge suit, too. Helps or anything over here? Full grenades. Here, one of those. Boom, boom. Yeah, this is great. Like you know, they're leaning into the silliness of it. Just the absurdity of it. Great effect. Reload the shotgun. Not many rounds on that one, but I guess that's fine. We're in a cathedral again here. Prolonged contact may be considered heresy. And it's like this universe of this world always makes you think, like, who lives here? Like, the actual people living here. Because it's just meant to be, you know, ridiculous, really. But the ones that actually live and survive in the world, Go down and come back up. We got the plasma gun, so... Hello? Lane shark. Splat. Remember that health pick up there. Thing I might need right now. Melee smash. Just launching yourself like that is just super satisfying, and landing with just a huge thud. I don't think there's any fall damage. It would just be detrimental to the effect or the experience. Bam, bam. Oh, this is great use of the Unreal Engine, like everything else, but I get why it's consolidation for that engine, because you think about it, like hiring developers that can work the tool set, especially if you have your own in-house engine, like how do you hire for that? Because you got to train them on that. Versus you have someone who's done experience with Unreal Engine, they can just slot right in and start working right away. So I get it why it's appealing to do that, to use a quote-unquote off-the-shelf engine. There's a reason why CD Projekt Red is switching to UEFI as well. And do we want conglomerates and just same type everywhere? No, I don't know if we do, but Unreal Engine is here to stay, so that's what's going to happen, I think. I like that this thing is still accurate. Like, it feels like it should be really bad spread. Hi, Bruce. Thanks for stopping by, and nice to see you again. Have a good one. Yeah, wishlisted, I think. Several people have bought it and wishlisted and playing this one tonight, so I guess the game is showing well. If you can play it on CRT, I highly recommend it. Because it's fantastic. Got the satisfying casing coming out there too. Shotgun. Clunk, 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 clunk. Just how important it is with the feedback. I think that's what it comes down to. Like why Doom's 3 shotgun is so like, Like damage is fine, but the feedback you get when you hit something is very minor. It's just like, clink. It doesn't give you that like satisfying feel like this thing does when it connects with something. I think Nathan one time, or Pixel Pipes, like, he said it was like, you know, hitting a block of concrete, and that's what it feels like. Just thump. It's not satisfying. This thing is satisfying. Special mag. I feel like we're gonna need that here soon. Vengeance Boltgun. Our boss here. I'm gonna save that. This is very handy for close encounters. Yeah, I don't have a like coding brain or developer brain at all. I actually went to school for game programming for a short while before I dropped out of that, realizing it was a lot of math, and I'm never good at math, so that was the end of that. But each engine has its own quirks, I guess. But again, if you have a standardization, then oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. You're locked in here with me. It's power fantasy, and that's what's so fun with these kind of games. Like, games where, like, it feels like for a while they were almost scared to give power to the player. Like, they were very restricted with the power-ups, or like you couldn't get. And I feel like you can make a game about a power fantasy like this because it fits with this. Like, imagine if you were really weak, or your weapons didn't do enough damage or whatever. We just completely just, you know, cripple the experience, and having it lean into that instead makes it all the better. And I think it's something that games feel like for a while they were like afraid to give you stuff, because they don't want to design it that way and, you know, artificially make it more difficult or whatever. But now we've seen like so many games like this that lean into that power fantasy, because this has to be a power fantasy, otherwise it wouldn't work. If this was a cover shooter, it would just be against everything Warhammer 40k is. So combat arena. Route? Question mark. Charge through the middle. This is the way. Oh, heavy bolter. Jeez. That's a heavy bolter, all right. Come get some. Pop, 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 pop. Oh my word. Not enough ammo on it though. Boxed in here. Well, that was fun while I had ammo. It was very effective. Oh, that's more ammo, I think. Yeah, that's the thing too. The health recharge section was a weird. I mean, I think it just came from Halo, right? Having the energy shield recharge. I just save this ammo. For that guy, for example. That would be really fun too if it gave you all the weapons right away. You know, do games do that? Because that's a really good idea. Like having a new game plus that puts the powerful weapons like at your. Oh, unlimited ammo. I just picked this up now. Come on, is there anyone else to shoot? Oh, you have more things to kill. Oh, that was... That would have been poetic there for a bit, but... Whoops, I am very low on health. Went too fast and too furious. Ah. See how far back that puts us now. Probably the beginning of this combat encounter, I'm guessing, yep. There's the unlimited ammo. There we go. Health, please. Hi. Man, those things have a lot of health. Whew, alright. Forget about the ability. Whew. What is getting all toasty in here? I tried to focus again. It's a pretty intense combat arena here. There should be. Ooh, there's more heavy bolter ammo. Alright, who wanted some? Who shot me? All those pink horrors can just... Dang it, I'm dying again. My goodness, they keep cornering me and just like shaving off my health really fast. Pick up some health randomly if I can. Run really fast. Alright, who... Someone's still alive? Alright, so anyone really use some health? Not today. Still alive? Door's still locked. Oh. Wow, they keep spawning. Man, this is a rough encounter here. Open that door with the unlimited ammo there, please. There we go. Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay. I save here? No, I can. Won't have to redo that thing again if I can. Walked right into that fire. Pink guys hurt bad. Whoa! I don't know what just happened there. Good lord! Stay mobile, I guess. little more. Well then, lots of ammo in here. Who else? Who else? Who else? Let me at him. Some of the pretty low-level guys there hurt pretty bad. In fact, most things hurt you pretty bad, actually. You're not quite as unstoppable when you get kind of ganged up on. Spawn in the back. Yeah, the thing felt like it had good impact until I got the heavy bolter. That feels pretty meek. Oh, I think that's it. That did it. Because you had to kill the Chaos Executor or whatever. Flat. I like the plasma gun. I mean, all the guns here are probably established lore in the Warhammer 40k universe, I'm guessing, so their design is based on that. But very much like a Doom plasma rifle style to it. Whoops, that was too close. Risky weapon to use up close. It hurts. Was shooting me. Meat status tainted. Oh my. Whew. Yeah, there's a lot of cool ports coming up here now, and I'm glad. Also, Tsushima. I've been wanting to play that too. I have it on the PlayStation Extra, whatever. Started playing a little bit, and it's very much like Witcher in feudal Japan. And it's really good so far. I want to play that more. It's great it's coming to PC too. Just, I understand why they want to keep it a little bit longer on the platform, but they should release it sooner, I think, on PC. It would be in their interest. I mean, look at Helldivers, right? Oh god. Let's not delve too deep on what that means. Huge health refill. That would have been useful a minute ago. Like they almost knew. Give me a lot of heavy bolter ammo, though. Again, Zoe. Glad to see that. Friends with the desk here. Just push it up against the desk, but yeah, it seems like the anesthesia has fallen off completely now. Fortunately, come up, make that jump now. Her hind legs were not cooperating earlier. She was falling over, but yeah, that'd be great too. Assuming they will come eventually, but it's just when. Well, this is a complicated level. Feels like a little wasteful.
I am the wrath of the good emperor.
That I am. But now the bolt gun feels a little weaker. Again, the heavy bolter. That sure was heavy. But there's something up on that. Whoa! Bugging out. Something up there? Maybe I didn't see anything. Like a secret or something. I don't think they would put that much stuff here if there weren't, but that'd be worth it. Yeah, that's the thing too. They had so many cuts now too, and it's like, I mean, they went to, well, Jim Ryan went to the Sony studios in London, and then just they were all fired a few days later. Yeah. It's pretty awful what's happening in the game industry right now. It feels like all the companies, they overhired on the pandemic post-craze, the post-pandemic craze, and everyone was like, oh wow, these good times roll forever, hire, hire, hire. And now they're firing people left and right. It's just frustrating no one could see that or forecast that correctly and just overhired like crazy. In some cases people have, you know, moved and their whole families and uprooted and whatever, so yeah, it just sucks. Hey, Brian? Yeah, that's like what happened now. It's just, yeah. No one apparently was able to foresee this or forecast. Looks. Use of access gantries poses risk to vital function. Oh, surely will not fall down here. Go down the middle. Surely this will open up a combat arena here in a second, right? Has to be. Purge procedure begins. There we go. There it is. Can't see through all the guts. You figure out how to reload this thing. Band or something. Whoops. Did that stop the purging? I just gotta kill the Chaos Terminator? Is that what I've been doing wrong all the time? Just respawning while that thing is alive? Me. Spawn like multiple big dudes right in the middle there. They are now tiny bits of flesh. double check there's no one behind me, but I think that took care of it. I guess the door's open, but we're enjoying ourselves here. Stubborn cultists, yeah, you could say that again. Don't step in anything here. Of course, there's a rocket. Pick up some of that ammo. I think there's no survivors at this point. I think we're good. Good, I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully she lands on her feet, but yeah, that's... Tech industry is not great right now, that's for sure. Feels like it's just self-adjusting here now from the, again, I'm not an expert at this by far, but it just feels like it was extreme overhiring there for a long time. Thinking that the good times would continue rolling forever. They would not. But the executives that are, you know, by the Emperor, welcome Banana. The executives that did the hiring bonuses, and then the executives getting the firing bonuses. Just their safety the way. Venerable Bastion. Magistrate's Bastion. Information we need will be here somewhere. Now all you have to do is get inside. Not too hard. Looks like the heretics have managed it. This is running on SSD, but you know, it's SATA. Well, it's SATA, but it's not a fast machine, but it still plays games like this just fine. I mean, it hasn't really had any hiccups or anything. Yeah, I could see playing this through. Keeping it going, just enjoying the ride. Definitely is a little challenging at times, mostly from my lack of skill more than the game being difficult, but just can't get over the thudding. It's just amazing. Boom, 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 boom. Who's still shooting? Oh. He's chill with the attitude there. Complaints from HR for his, how do you put that one there? Can you... Nope, not that way. I'm vested there. I kind of want to get up there. Alright, thanks for dropping by, Mike Boy. And hopefully see you next time. I'm not sure when the next time might be, but I will definitely stream again, so. That's not going to work. Like the typical thing where they show you where the secret is. I just have to get to it. Jump up there easily, but... Get up on these. Uh-huh. Let's see if this is gonna work here. Nope. So you could walk over there. Hop down there and then there. I don't think that's gonna work. Now return to Warhammer 40k Parkour Edition. It's like the Mirror's Edge Parkour Warhammer style. There's no way to get that high up. Progress forward. Yes, I know, but I'm looking for secrets. I don't think I can just... I almost could make that jump, so maybe. Quite the jumping range there. so close. Welcome back, Bruce. Trying to make that jump there, but I'm not sure if I can make it. Oh, it's so flipping close. Barrels annoy me. I don't think the dash move forward helps you jump. That was a bad jump, but no. Alright, fine, we'll move on. Feels like it would be doable, but just don't have skills. Pay the Emperor's bills. Very nice. He's got some repressed anger issues here he needs to deal with. Freaking thing still makes me like, whoa, it's a bad guy. No, it's not. Oh, they're melee guys. Well, they're gonna meet the heavy bolter. They did not survive that encounter. Sewer level? Yep, thanks sewer level. Like some level of sewage going on here. My goodness. Use up all the heavy bolter ammo there to take care of that problem. And the music's good too. It's a complete package. I gotta give it that. It's feels great to play, engaging, great style and humor in it, and bit of a challenge too. But it's just again due to my lack of skill. Yeah, but can I get some loot first? Continue. We have scavenged enough stuff. Thing lit up there. Is that a thing I can push? The light switch, nothing. Yeah, there's that part. And I mean, I think that's both good and bad. Like the game like Dusk, for example, right? Channels that very well because there's very sparse, like there's not much going on. I think world detail and clutter adds a lot to the feeling of, oh, they're homing. That's why they're so annoying. That's probably the biggest thing that tips it off, you're right, as a modern game. At the same time, it does add a lot more to it, and developers, you know, back then would definitely have done that if they could have that much world clutter. Didn't have enough memory and processor and acceleration, etc., etc. But now we can, and I think that's something that, you know, you look at like how with... dang it, did the stream stop again? Yeah, just like old times. We'll give it a second. Annoying. Just like old times. Of course, if you're watching a replay, I think it just kind of skips around pretty quickly when that happens and then goes on, so. Waiting for it to catch up. Come on. You can do it. Catch up. On my up speed, like if I do a speed test now, it's just like barely hitting 30 when I should be getting 3 times that. And clear the I don't know what this always seems to be on Thursdays too, of course, when I were to stream. Yeah, again, I'm hoping that once we get fiber, that takes care of that. I feel like we're oversubscribed in this general area or something. The whole neighborhood is full now, so there's no empty lots. All the houses are here, and they probably all have Cox Internet. There's no other provider in this area. So they all have cable, and I have a feeling we're oversubscribed because in most cases, you're streaming, you're not going to notice this. It's mostly in my case here where I'm actually uploading a lot quickly. That becomes a problem. That's where it's noticeable so quickly. So yeah. Yeah, that's true. A lot has changed how, and also having the horsepower to do all that, but I feel like it adds a lot of atmosphere and feel to games having that. I was going to say Iron Fury had that. More kind of clutter. A lot of these kind of boomer shooters again. Feel enhanced. Now, yeah, you're right. It doesn't channel the exact same feel. It would be nice to play games that are like that. Super simplistic. Something I'm almost pining for a little bit is like the super kind of like simple art style of, you know, your GameCube, PS2, Xbox original era, that kind of stuff. There's a very specific charm to it, and I think we're seeing some games coming out like that now, but just they do put in a lot of detail, something we never would have had back then, at least on that level. Boom. Boom. Oh, there's a ledge there for sure. Lock and load. This is a combat arena, right? Gotta be. Purge this site. Can do, boss. Okay, now. Exalted Flamer. No, thank you. How do you have so much health? Wading through this here. Oh. I'm riding an explosion. Got that guy. Exploring a little bit here, trying to see if there are any of those like upgrade things sitting around. Feeling like they strategically placed those. Plasma gun. Ultra ammo. I feel like you have to kind of run around and scavenge ammo a little bit because you do run out when you're going full bore like that. Did I purge the site already? Guess so. And those exalted flamers were the top dogs in this arena. They sure took a beating. Maybe it's the difficulty level I'm running on, which is normal too, but they seem to be dropping a lot of ammo for you to use, which is nice. I like this so far that it doesn't really force you to a particular weapon, or not particular weapon, like in Doom 2016, I feel like, you know, you have still a little ammo on purpose so that you will switch constantly and change up your tactic, but it can get so hectic. I like that I can just take out the heavy bolter and just keep freaking holding button until target is gone. Point and click game. He is quick at reloading too. Boom. I admire their commitment, but I don't think they're gonna come out on top here. It's just a huge levels here. Look at that, there's the red key card. Figured there'd be something up here. Die. It did eventually, so. Let's see, and there's probably a red door down there. Can you run on? Nimble. That gave me nothing, but it was fun. It lasted. I can't get over this. The impact when he lands, just a massive thud. It feels like, you know, like I mentioned earlier, like it feels like this character. The key card. Where's the actual operating thing for this? I am moving and going, continue. I'm trying to find where the actual lever is for this thing. Side here. The control panel. How critical it is to feel like you're in the world, and this game really nails that. Feels like I have an impact on the world. I mean, you know, there's no craters or anything like that, but here the keypad thing is up there. Getting it like a really big baddie coming out now. Has some heft to it. Yeah, I was right. Big baddie coming out there or anything? Gold doorway below. Gathered that, thank you. Bam. I sure give you a lot of enemies to shoot. It's funny because, again, I thought the bolter was like, yeah, the bolt gun. It just sounds so cool, and you get the heavy bolter, and now it feels like a small thing, actually. No more. Bloop. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think satisfying is probably the best way to describe this game in general, right? It's just satisfying combat, satisfying movement, satisfying world. See why it got so much praise. Assuming it keeps up this quality all the way through. It's hard to say when these games can get, you know, repetitive, so they got to keep it fresh, either for mechanics or weapons or making it exciting as you play, because otherwise it can get very samey. That's one that I do want to try. It's that turbo overkill, because apparently it just it just keeps mixing in formula up over and over. So that's one I definitely want to check out as well. But I see why this one is so highly rated. Key in the crate right there. Door was right over here, I think. There. Lots of ammo. No explanation why. Bad feeling about this. Fine. There we go. Some grenades. They reloaded everything here, it seems like. I assume there's a reason for that. Game saved. Yep, there we go. Curious to play it. It seems like it just, at least, it keeps going for quite a while and just adds new stuff, but... Here for those flamers. Yeah, we're awash now with these retro revival shooters, and I have several in my Steam library I haven't even touched yet. Ammo. Yeah, that's what's important too, because you have like kind of thing. Is the moment-to-moment gun play fun? Are the mechanics fun? Is it just, you know, all has to add up? But boom, boom. This really, I mean, I think that's a great mixture of old and new here. I didn't even see from watching videos that it used such a pixel chonk aesthetic, and that's, I just love that. And maybe that's because we're so used to, like, you know, very detailed, high resolution stuff that's like super sharp, and seeing the unfiltered original look of Quake software mode and stuff like that, it makes me nostalgic for sure. The shotgun is really cool, but it's also so slow. It's a risk to use it, it feels like. For close encounters, though. Come on, spawn, where are you going? Just above. Okay, alcove here. Banner. Eee. So is there like a Graven as well? Another like boomer shooter, like more Hexen style? There was one I can't remember the name of that seemed very promising, but then based on what people were saying, it was not living up to that promise. Kind of ran out of speed. Maybe it was Graven. Oh, long way down. Problem? I can actually direct the fall a little bit, which goes a long way to making you feel, and it makes no sense that you can. Why would you be able to? But you can. Dead. How long does that list? That might be the final thing for the night here if we get to wherever the end of the level is, depending how long it is. Game though, my goodness. Levels are just ginormous in some cases. Have I been here? I'm not sure. Oh, there's an arena here. I've not been here. We want some. Got my heavy bolter here. Exploded in candy. Can't see anything. There we go, now we're cooking in. Oh, got a heavy, heavy bolt gun. Use grenades more. There's so many of them laying around. Lap. I think it's a genius idea to, I mean, I think that, again, if it's the lore right, is to have your bolt gun be firing explosive charges. That makes a big difference in the chunkiness of it all. The fact that they just explode on impact. What else did I find them all? Really confusing layout here, to say the least. Is there anyone else, or am I just getting confused on where to go now? Nope, someone else. Who's still alive? Those dudes. Oh. Don't care for those. They run up too close. He just blew himself up, apparently. Shot one of the barrels and just took care of that problem. Now to find where I was a second ago, where that stupid door was. Oh, right here. Alright, I think that's the end of the level here. Alright. It's a cool game. Cool, but intense. It's like, it's one of these games where... killed everyone, alright. Didn't find many secrets. One of those games where you can... just like, it takes a lot of energy. Oh yeah, that's fine. It takes a lot of energy. The same way I can only play Doom 2016 for short bursts. I can't, like, maintain that energy level that long, so... and I think that this game falls in that category where it just requires so much, like, full speed. The Melt-A-Gun, forbidden knowledge, inside the Bastion. At a cathedral now. But that's probably a good place to stop. I don't think we're going to start this level and see what it's about. But yeah, Boltgun out on Game Pass now, so that's a good place to try it out if you have it already. Otherwise, it seems like it's on sale for about 15 bucks across various storefronts. I think it's on all platforms, but I'm not sure if it's on Switch or not. Right, would have played it. Light reading, perhaps. But yeah, I love when they do this kind of stuff. This kind of aesthetic and this kind of gameplay, this style, it's fantastic. It's full, um, you know, throwback to the olden days and everything. And that's a great choice by the developer to do that. We can get more of FPS campaigns like this. Single player, enjoyable, chunky combat, perfect like setting and everything. It's harder to make something from scratch though, as far as like they have a established world setting here, so that makes it easier to build on that. But that's perfect. I will have to play Space Marine now, and then I think Space Marine 2 is coming out this year or next year, whatever. Either way, it was fun to get back to it. We'll see you the next time I stream. I can't promise it's going to be next week, but I will stream again at some point here. So I'm going on a LAN party on Saturday. I'll post a couple pictures in Discord from it. Should be fun playing Windows XP era stuff. Otherwise, thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks so much again for that generous donation earlier. And hope to see everyone again. Otherwise, I'll catch everyone online. But have a good night. Bye-bye. Hopefully with more fiber internet soon. Who knows? Night.